Hello everyone, you know it's me because you see my camera wiggling, right? This is Zelda Kelly with True Oracle, and it goes par for the course because we are in the shadow period right before a Mercury retrograde, and those things are especially affected. So we're going to do a reading today for all signs, a collective reading. If you resonate with this, that's fine. But what I'm going to do is just kind of go through the month of August, do your reading for you based on Mercury retrograde, what to look out for, what to know that is going to happen with you. I mean, we all want to know that, a little bit of guidance and direction. But before we get started, if you'll please do me a favor and subscribe and click on the notification bell so you can get notified of any and all readings that come through, because they are important and made just for you. That's right. So we are here now with Mercury retrograde. Today is August 4th. While I'm doing this video, the Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Virgo. Now, I'm going to pick out that card as we go along, and I just wanted to show you exactly, well, how things are working. In fact, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pull out the Virgo card right now. The Virgo card, this is the Hermit, this fellow right here. He is an earthy guy, this Virgo. Now, the Hermit doesn't mean that he is, well, he's in a cave somewhere all to himself and all this bad stuff. The Hermit means that you're taking time to reflect, and it means that you're looking for wisdom and understanding. And do you see that? And I have a trusty pen here. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to point out so you can really see. Do you see this fellow right here, that little star? That is the Star of David. I'm sorry, the Star of Solomon. I'll get it. You see? Mercury, hello. It's all communication. The star, the six-pointed star of Solomon, guiding and directing. This is a very good card when you're looking for wisdom and how to reflect. But the sign of Virgo is where Mercury is going to start out. And I'm going to say this, as we go further into this month, it will change into the sign of Leo. But for right now, we're starting out in Virgo. So that's why I believe when you're watching this, you feel a little bit like you're not so grounded and you're not so stable, and you think that things are a little wonky for you and you just don't know where to turn and things are delayed, and yes, me oh my. So let's get started. Mercury. Mercury is a planet that is represented by this Magician card. Now, first of all, what is Mercury retrograde? In the scheme of things, in our planetary orbit, they're all going in one direction, and all planets go retrograde. But Mercury is especially important for many reasons, because Mercury is the planet of communication, and it can really mess us up sometimes. Why? Well, because when a planet, and in this case Mercury, goes retrograde, it slows down to an almost crawl. So when all of the other planets are going around it, it almost seems like that planet is going backwards. And believe me, for the next 28 days, you're going to feel like, what on earth? What is going backwards? What is happening? So the tarot card that represents Mercury, and sorry for the wiggling, my cat just said hello and stopped by, and you didn't see her, but okay, there she is again. Pardon me. See, you see what... See, it's just, you may as well just not try to control anything, because right now it ain't gonna be in control. That's just the way it is. But this card, the Magician card, represents Mercury. And the reason I pulled this out here is because I think this is really important for you to see before our reading. There are some elements here, and this Mercury affects just really all elements, and that is wind, fire, earth, and water. but especially the air, the wind, air sign. It is all communication. Now, this Magician card is very good for manifesting. And I do believe that during a Mercury retrograde is really good to manifest because it slows ourselves down, makes us go inward and reflect. The table here that you see is a crafting table. It means that you can stand back and admire everything that you have done. Now, you can admire your accomplishments. That doesn't mean that it's a bad thing to do that. You're not proud in that regard, but you're proud in a very good way. The flowers here are blooming because it shows that what you've got going on and your manifestation can be blooming. Now, this is the sign of Mercury, but now since we are Mercury retrograde, we are going to be doing this. Yes, my dear, we're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to lay that out here because that's really important for us to know. Now, I do not read in reverse. I just want you to know that. And I don't have anything against it. I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, well, people are missing out. Look, I believe we know what's going on in our lives. It's not running so well, right? I don't need to put out a bunch of negative cards and have them in reverse and have people be focusing on these cards and what is happening versus what really should be happening. So that is one of the important reasons that I don't read in reverse. The other thing is, I think sometimes they get mixed up in the shuffle. Many times you can have more reverse cards out than you can have upright. And for me, that's just not something that I want to have or I want to accomplish. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to introduce the cards that we're using. We have in the Hand of Fate a new deck of cards that you've not seen before, the Grand Tableau, and it is an Lenormand Oracle deck. We have the Mythic Tarot, and then we have the Vintage Tarot, and I just heard a meow over here in the comments section. All right, so we're going to put these to the side, and now we're going to start laying out the cards. We're just going to keep, in fact, I'm going to put this Magician guy up here. Okay, we're going to start out with the Mythic Tarot first. Starting out, and we're asking for all signs, spirits, guides, angels. We're asking for direction, guidance here for the month of August during this Mercury retrograde. What can we expect? We have the Four of Wands. That's actually a very good card, my darlings. We have the Five of Swords. We have the Two of Pentacles. And for you who want to know, that is actually Riley and not Bilbo. Queen of Pentacles. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. So what is this telling us? Well, first of all, this Four of Wands. I believe that our concentration will be on our home. Our concentration will be on what we have coming to us. And you see, wands are fire element, and it means that there is a opportunity. There is a time in which we're making our homes a project. And if you're feeling like, wow, I've got to change that screw on that doorway, or I've got to do this with the sink faucet, that's what this time is going to have you do. It's a reflective time and helps you with your projects. Now, just like the reverse card of that Magician, it's asking us to reflect. What is it that we need to work on? That's this. Now, it can represent your home. If you're selling your home or buying a home during this time of a retrograde, just be cautious. Read the fine print. Okay? Read the fine print. The Five of Swords is a card in which you're feeling like someone is putting you in your place. You're almost feeling like someone is about to get away with something, but that's a few cards down the road. But it is time for you to stand up and notice exactly what it is that you need to be working on within and around. Do you need to be working on the people that you be hanging around? Or how about if somebody is there just giving you a hard time and you're not knowing exactly what to do, what to think about it? It's time to take inventory and make sure that you're hanging around the people that you need to be hanging around so you can stay focused and really getting into your project, whatever subject you're wanting to be. This Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is a very good card because it just basically means that I think you're about done with the shuffling and with the juggling and with the struggling. It's now time, basically, it's telling us, you see this little guy right here? It's now time to get down to work. It's time to get down to really put a pencil to it. That's what I take this card as. The Queen of Pentacles, there's a healing coming in your finances. And while things mean that sometimes they go backwards, during this time of a Mercury retrograde, things that you have worked on before will actually come full circle during the Mercury retrograde. So if you are expecting money, it may be delayed a little bit, but this will be a good time in August for you to expect that. The other thing here is the Eight of Pentacles. What it's telling you is during this particular time, basically, keep your nose to the grindstone. That's what it's saying. Focus, be consistent, work on things, don't get distracted, and just know that this is a good time for you to be in this project revision, this looking inward, making sure that things are going to go in your way. Now, we're going to be pulling out some vintage tarot. You've seen these cards before. The vintage tarot, oh my. And that hit my thumb, and I'm so sorry. You see? It's that retrograde. Okay, so before I put these out, what does all this communication and everything mean? It means that, especially if you're in a job where you have to communicate and you get tongue-tied like me, and it's hard for you to express yourself, or sometimes you don't get that email, or sometimes that call didn't come through, or the voicemail or the text didn't come through, or something is late, or it's delayed. Or maybe you're expecting a piece of mail and it didn't come right now, so you have to call again. I'm going to tell you, during a retrograde period, I know for myself, I have to make sure that I've allotted I've allotted enough time to follow up on things. You have to, many times, make sure that you're in follow-up mood. So if you're expecting something, you can't just trust the process at this point. You've got to follow up and make sure that someone else didn't get distracted, so it's not coming. And then you're totally delayed. And then things are upset. So it's communication, and be careful of miscommunications in relationships. Miscommunications, well, we know what that can lead to. Arguments, upset. There's a lot of breakups during Mercury retrograde, but I also want to tell you this. This is a time for your exes to reappear and to come back. And many times I've heard, oh, but Zelda, my ex came back. It's Mercury retrograde, but he says he loves me, and I know he's telling the truth. And yes, he is, but he may not stay. What do you mean? He says he's going to stay. Well, then when Mercury retrograde is over, he has decided to move on, or she has decided to move on. It's a time where they have this feeling of they want to revisit. Or have you ever gotten on a computer? Now is the time when many of us get on a computer and think, I wonder what that person is doing from high school. I'm going to look. It's a reflection of backward timing. Now you get it, okay? So now you understand what we're looking into, and there is an Ace of Swords that came out, which is very good. Cutting the cards now. The Ten of Cups. A Page of Swords, I like him. And the Four of Cups. Now, what does all this mean? It means that you're going to be faced with some decisions during this time that you've got to make it, and they're going to be cut and dried. There's not going to be any gray area. You see, the swords are communication, and a sword, you see a double-edged sword, it cuts both ways. It can either cleanse or it can either tear down. But you've got to make a decision. And I got to tell you this, don't be mad at me. Don't be stubborn at wanting and needing to know the facts. Now is the time you especially need to know the facts before you make a decision. If not, you're going to have to revisit this, whatever comes to you, again. Here's the thing with this Page of Swords. His nickname is the Prince of Wind and Breeze. And you see, he's got a sword that goes off the frame of the card right there, and he's got a lot of movement here. He's planted himself right there on the ground, and he's basically saying, okay, come on, I'm ready, because we are not done yet. And that's what this Mercury says. You know what? You're not done yet. You better get it together, because you're going to have to follow up, and you're going to have to revisit. In the end, what's it all mean? Well, in the end, it is the Ten of Cups. There's a celebration there for you. You've made it through. That's what this August is going to be. So basically, you got to just be paying attention, making sure that everything is coming in your way. And we're going to take some confirmation and last words from this Grand Tableau Lenormand deck. The lilies, basically saying you're being reflected, and that beautiful Jack of Spades. Just make sure that someone that, you know, like I said, take inventory. Make sure that these people that you're hanging around with or that come to, want to be your friend all of a sudden, or a work relationship or whatever the case may be, make sure that you know about them. Don't divulge your life history and your life secrets before you know this person. Just take stock of who is really for you and who is sitting on the fence, right? I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to take two more cards. This second one is the Tower. Now, that's not equal to the Tower in the tarot. What this is saying is that there is growth, but what you've got to think about now, and especially with this Six of Spades, is how you, I love how this is going to be coming together, because loving how you are going to put things into place. It is for you, you see, it's sometimes a task to go from the bottom floor to the top and raise that flag. But there has to be a lot that needs to be done in that chore. That's what this is saying. Our last card from this Grand Tableau is this doggy. I love this card. You see what's going on? That is a 10 of hearts. And you know what that is? That is equal to, don't you love this? It's equal to the 10 of cups. But what the doggy means is there's loyalty. There's friendship. Never-ending friendship. When you think of a dog, and for all of those of you that are animal lovers, and I'm a cat and a dog lover. I have cats right now, but I've had dogs, and believe me, they are loyal. And when you bond with your doggy, that's a bond for life. It's a time that you can make sure who's loyal to you and who's not. But this is a success card, and this 8 and 1 equals 9. And the 9 is a card that says, yes, you're ready. It's time to go. Wish fulfilled, dream come true. So that's what happens. Now, in the month of August, a couple of things. On the 14th, the Mercury goes into the sign of Leo. it really is making us reflect. Give us a time in which we need to be thinking about the strength that needs to come through. This Leo, do you see this? Do you see this card right here? This woman, an infinite number, an infinite amount of strength. And I'm going to say this. Look how this matches. You see? An infinite amount of ability that you have to overcome your obstacles, to overcome what it is that you need to overcome. That's a lovely card in this particular time because it is going to help you get through with all this strength. And then on the 19th, we have a full moon in Aquarius. The full moon in Aquarius is just going to be this time where you are still going to be working on communication because, well, Aquarius is an air sign. Aquarians are very intelligent and they have to work through. Let me see where this guy is. They have to work through in order to get all of the facts. Now, I'm not going to stir up my cards, but because I want you to know, here we are, this Four of Cups. They have to make sure that they are in an ability to make sure that they get all of the facts. There's meditation, there's prayer required, and there's looking, because I'm going to tell you, this whole thing is all about balance. The same with this Mercury, same with this Strength card. Then on the 29th of August, there is a full moon in Libra. You see this Justice card. So the Mercury retrograde ends on the 28th of August, and then we immediately go into this full moon in Libra, which gives us balance, direction. You see this scales of justice here, and the sword that basically is ruling. A lot of power in this particular card. So if you're needing justification or justice, if you need to justify something during that time frame, that's the time to do it. So what's going on with August? Well, I'm going to say, I think pretty much you know now that you're going to have to just sit back, follow up on communication, make sure that you are consistent, working through things, taking the time to reflect, making sure that your relationships that are close by are there and actually good for you. That's right. Relationships have to be good for us in order to be able to function. Who wants drama? Make sure that your decisions are based on facts, and make sure that you're getting ready to celebrate by the end of August, because there is going to be definite cause for celebration. The other thing I want to say is, come on over to True Oracle. I want you to read my bio. I'm an extension 11. I'm going to put the address right here. It's trueoracle.com. And if you've never had a psychic reading, I want you to invite you over to have a psychic reading with me. For 10 minutes is $4.95. That's less than a cup of coffee at a drive-thru. So come on over, say hello. I would love to read for you. And in the meantime, I wish you the best August ever, and get ready to celebrate, because you know what? Fall is right around the corner. You be well. Take care. Thank you so much for inviting me into your space today. And I will see you again next time. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.